Well, the closing of the show is the beginning of the work. One of the workhorses, for the want of a better term, which the Jamaica Tourist Board has, is a gentleman who's in charge of the Miami or Northern, is what they call it now, Southeastern United States?
No. For my sins, I've been given a much larger role. I'm now the Deputy Director of Tourism for the Americas.
Deputy Director of Tourism for the Americas. The gentleman who's head most of the travel agents and the people who are here for him, because he has to deal with the coordination of what comes out of North America or the Americas into Jamaica and to materialize into not just wealth, but into benefits for here, as well as, in actual fact, he's going to have some kind of a relationship with the region because it's a regional activity. Mr. Rose, good afternoon, and thank you for joining me today, sir.
How are you doing, sir? Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. Tell us, first of all, what is the matrix of your job as the Deputy Director for that aspect of the Americas?
So I have responsibility for all the sales activities, all the operations out of the United States, Caribbean, and Latin America. So my role is simple. My role is to ensure that we have sufficient lift, which drives sufficient passenger loads to the destination of Jamaica, so that our hotel partners, our DMC partners, and most importantly, the persons who I work for, our taxpayers, see the benefit of tourism from the regions that I have responsibility for.
You are a new director, so to speak, within the last 2 years or 3 years?
New deputy director.
Deputy director.
But I've served in other capacities. Most recently, I was responsible for the northeastern region of the U.S.
Yeah.
Prior to that, I served as regional director for Canada. Before that, I was in the Midwest of the United States. Before that, after that, I was in the western region of the United States. So I've been around.
So in actual fact, no, you come to the position with quite a wealth of knowledge and experience and exposure.
One could say so, yes.
No, we are expanding. The whole tourism aspect is evolving. We now have Dubai on the agenda, and India, and a number of other places. How do you see any kind of a new thrust that you might be able to add to this kind of a mix?
Any kind of new what? I'm sorry.
Any kind of a new effort that you can add to this kind of a new mix that is not required as the product evolves and gets bigger?
Well, I'll tell you this. One of the things that I'm very proud of in terms of what I bring to the table, if that's what you're asking me, is a deep understanding of what drives business, what drives traffic, both from a brick and mortar standpoint, so through the retail partners, a digital standpoint, how we engage with the consumers and such delights. One of the things that, one of the reasons why I should say that we are laser focused not only on continuing the growth from the United States, but in building the Latin American market and the Caribbean market is because of one simple thing. We recognize that we have to diversify. We can't rely on one particular source market.
Okay.
Hence why you're mentioning India, Dubai, and other regions. Somewhat selfishly, I must say, there's a DNA within the tourist board now that recognizes that we work for the corn soup man, right? We work for the shrimp vendor in La Covia. That is who we work for, and we want to make sure that the visitors who come to Jamaica are going to leave the resort and support some of these persons, which brings me right back to the Latin American market as an example. They have shown us, or they have indicated to us, that they want to come out and enjoy these authentic experiences. And as such, we're negotiating with airline partners and travel agent partners in that region to bring the visitors to Jamaica.
It's wonderful and interesting that you say that, because one of the concerns you have about the man on the clap-and bus and the man who's a coconut man at the corner is that tourism was not for him. And there has been that, well, obviously it is changing. Because that's not, and it is good to hear at your level that comes out, so the rest of the person who are listening will understand that, well, it's not just about Mr. Big Hotel Man. You don't have to call a name, but certain fact that you are just as important as that man, because you are part of the product.
Absolutely, but I must say it would be dishonest of me if I were to say that what I'm saying to you is new. We've always felt that.
Yes.
I think that now we're just able to articulate it, and we have put together the right tactics to ensure that everyone not only sees the benefit, because they have been seeing the benefit, but oftentimes they don't realize just how valuable they are to the tourism ecosystem.
Yeah, because they never actually see themselves as part of the picture.
Precisely.
And like I say, it's wonderful that at your level, it is being reinforced.
Absolutely.
So it's fine. In terms of the market that you're responsible for, you find that your travel agents and your various persons who are interested in coming to DMC are asking for anything different and new?
I mean, they're looking for authentic experiences. That is not necessarily new. They're looking for a level of service that is higher than our competition. I wouldn't say that is anything new. The only thing I'd say is possibly new is that we now see persons expressing interest in going into some of the nook and cranny sides of Jamaica that's oftentimes we wouldn't think of. So personally, I just spent a couple days in the St. Anne area, and I went into St. Anne's Bay.
Yes.
And I went on Main Street.
Okay, cool.
Which is very, very authentic, shall we say. And lo and behold, there were visitors enjoying
themselves right there.
Conversations in the rum bars and chatting with the market vendors. And I would say that push into the or beyond the guardrails of tourism is certainly new from my lens.
Yeah, well, one man would say the imperceptible movement of your conscience was pushed forward by that experience.
Precisely, yes.
Wonderful. Now, it is interesting that because as the product evolves and this gets bigger, more and more persons on the outside are now drawn into the product. And it's now becoming a much more important part of the economy of Jamaica, and a lot of people are seeing themselves in it, which is important, because when I go on the road and we travel across Jamaica, we talk to the average person, the clap and bus out there, and what we want to know is that how do you see and feel yourself as a part of this industry? And I know the minister has been a missionary where that is concerned.
Absolutely.
But it's important, and the fact that at your level, and as I spoke to Madam Greg, the chairperson, Nicola, I spoke to the director.
Yes.
And there is a commonality in terms of the voice, and it's a choir.
There is.
Which is very, very, very interesting, and it's very, heart, warming to hear, because no longer can we, as people, feel that, this is not our product.
Precisely.
And this is not our experience. What do you enjoy most about this job that you have?
I tell you, my answer may surprise you. It's not, as much as I enjoy negotiating with the airlines and tour operators, even though I personally don't do it, I have a very able team that's far better equipped to do that than I am.
I don't know about that, but anyway, I can hear you.
My favorite part of the job is when I do take a Juta cab from the airport to the hotel, and I hear them telling the stories about how much tourism has benefited them.
Yes.
If you ask anybody who knows me, who Philip Rose works for, they will tell you that Philip Rose always says that I work for the corn soup man. And my favorite part of the job is speaking with the corn soup man. Yeah, it is the part that brings me the most joy. Speaking with the children on the streets as they're coming or going to school in their school uniforms, and hearing them about how they view tourism and how they view their future role in tourism. This is what keeps me going.
Philip Rose, it's been a pleasure and a privilege. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Keep
up the good work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Blessings. And there we have it. So we're going for a surprise tonight. We're going to be going to Sandals, one of the properties that Philip likes to go and hide out in sometime when he's here, because a lot of excitement is there. And they have something specially prepared for us tonight. So let's go over there and watch and see. The discussion continues. This is Teddy Miller Live, and we are at the Convention Center, the Caribbean Tourism Association Marketplace / JPEX. Philip, again, thank you. Such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Blessings.